Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mary, and today's video is going to be another book haul.
I should have told you that I loved you one more time.
So in my last book haul, I mentioned that it was probably going to be my last book haul for a while, but I have acquired some new books since then, so I think this for real is going to be the last book haul for a while. Some of these I did pick up for free. If you've seen my Little Free Library vlog, I got some of these books from Little Free Libraries. But without further ado, I'm just going to jump into the book haul. I am just going to go through this the way I normally do my book hauls, which is by store, slash place of acquiring, slash where I acquired them from. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. But that being said, the first 4 books, if you've seen my Little Free Library vlog, you've already seen. But I did pick up the 3rd book in A Song of Ice and Fire by George R.R. Martin, which is A Storm of Swords. I have not read any of these books yet. I haven't read any of these books. I've never seen Game of Thrones, but it's something that when I see it, I kind of pick it up. So it is what it is. But I have this one. I think everyone knows what Game of Thrones is, so I'm not really going to spend time explaining what that is. Another book that I got during that Little Free Library vlog was Just Mercy by Bryan Stevenson, which is a memoir of an attorney. So it's the attorney who founded the Equal Justice Initiative, which is a legal practice dedicated to defending the poor, the wrongly condemned, and those trapped in the furthest reaches of our criminal justice system. So it's his memoir. If you don't know, I'm in law school, so legal memoirs are interesting to me. Then I also picked up Dan Brown's Origin, which is the 5th book, I believe, in his Robert Langdon series, which is a series of thrillers about a professor at Harvard of symbology, I think is what he studies. It's also the same series that Angels and Demons and The Da Vinci Code was in. I love those movies. I loved those books when I was in high school, and I didn't realize that the series extended beyond those books until like a year or 2 ago when I found the 3rd book at a Goodwill, so I picked that one up when I saw it. Now I have the 5th one that I got at a Little Free Library, and I need to find the 4th book, and then I need to reread the first 2 and read the series. I might not reread the first 2 just because I'm pretty familiar with what happened in them. I might just rewatch the movies. I know the movies aren't super accurate, but at some point I would like to finish the series. It's very dad fiction, but I loved it. And the last book I picked up from a Little Free Library is Dead in the Family by Charlene Harris, which is, I don't even know what number this one is, to be honest with you, but it's part of the Sookie Stackhouse series, and I have the first 4 books in that series as well. They're over on this shelf, so I don't know where this is going to fit into my bookshelves. I'm planning on doing a little clip at the end showing me reshelving all of these books, in case that's interesting to you. It might not be, but you'll see it if you care. But yes, I did pick this up just because I am planning on reading the series eventually. I don't know what number this is. At some point, I'll figure it out. I also picked some books up from a bookstore here in Northwest Arkansas called Once Upon a Bookstore, I think, or Once Upon a Book. And it's a thrift bookstore. So it's used books. They also have really nice like editions of books and collector's copies. They have a whole section full of signed books. I did not pick up any of those, but I did pick up 4 books from that bookstore, and I am just going to show you what they are. Obviously, some of them I don't really know what they're about. The first book that I picked up from there is This Could Hurt by Julian Medoff, which I believe is about the financial crisis of 2008. Perhaps, and it's about the economy failing and these people at their workplace trying to figure out sort of what they're going to do and how they're going to survive this economic crash. So I think this is a contemporary. It might have more of like a literary fiction element to it. I'm not really sure, but I am pretty excited to read this one. I've had it on my list for a while. It sounds like the type of subject matter and the type of time period that I'm interested in. Time period as if it wasn't like 10 years ago, but I am interested in picking this one up. I also got Good Me, Bad Me by Allie Land. This I heard people rave about, but I don't really know what it's about.
But you have heard of me.
I think it's about somebody who is hiding. It's a thriller, like a mystery thriller about somebody. The main character is like hiding a secret or like a secret past or something. I don't typically like to know too much about my thrillers before I go into them because I find that sometimes ruins the experience for me. So I don't know too much about this, but it is fairly short, so I'm hoping to read this at some point as well. Speaking of thrillers, I also have The Dream Daughter by Diane Chamberlain, which I think is another thriller. I think this is another thriller. It might not be, But this, to me, it's about a woman who, her husband has died in the Vietnam War. It's 1970 and she's pregnant and she finds out that her baby has some sort of birth defect and probably won't live. But then they tell her there's something that they can do to save her baby. And I think it might be like a deal with the devil type thing. I don't really know. It doesn't say.
That's not right, is it? That is so not right.
In the synopsis, but I am really interested in reading this. And I can't remember who it was, but somebody gave this like a really rave review and I wanted to read it because of them. It might have been Jacqueline Wheeler. That could be wrong, but that's who I think it might have been. But anyways, I picked this one up off of someone on BookTube's recommendation. I don't remember who at this point, and I'm really excited to read this one at some point as well. And the last book I got from Once Upon a Bookshop. I will link them down below. I can't remember what they're called right now. They have a couple different locations in Northwest Arkansas. There's one in Tawnytown, and then there's one in Bentonville, which is the one that we went to. But I also picked up All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Dewar, which is a historical fiction set around World War II, I believe. Yes. And it's about a young, visually impaired child. I can't remember if it's a boy or a girl. It says Marie Lure, so a girl, I guess. And her experiences in the Hitler Youth, I think, or with the Hitler Youth. Oh, look. It's a Once Upon a Time Books. They put a bookmark in here. Yay. Thank you so much to them. But this is, again, a World War II historical fiction. I heard really good things about this, and I wasn't a super big fan of The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, which I know people love, but this is one that was recommended to me in lieu of that one. So I'm hoping to get to this at some point. It also won the Pulitzer Prize. And if you've been around here, you know that sometimes I really hate Pulitzer Prize winners. So we'll see. And then finally, I did go to Goodwill and pick up a few books from there. So the first one I picked up was How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And I have not read this. This is a self-help book. I think it's pretty popular. It's from like the 90s maybe. I'm just popping in here to say, I usually don't correct myself in these because I'm always wrong. But How to Win Friends and Influence People was published in the 30s. So I don't often read self-help anymore. I used to be really into the genre, but I am interested in reading this because it's supposed to be about how to like network and market yourself to be a good leader and also to get like good roles in life, sort of, as well as primarily in like your work life, which is something that I'm going to need to learn how to do because I'm about to re-embark in the real world from finishing law school this coming May. So, a full disclosure, the reason that I bought this is because I'm obsessed with that song Josh by Peach PRC. If you haven't heard it, you should listen to it, but she mentions this book in it, and I saw it and just thought I had to have it, so there you go. The other book I picked up from Goodwill is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, which is the first book in the Alex Stern series, and I believe this follows a girl who gets inducted into a secret society in Yale, and it's for people who can use magic, something like that. I'm really excited to read this. I have not read really any dark academia. I did read The Maidens by Alex Michaelides, but I have it on good authority that that was not a very good example of dark academia, and it really wasn't dark academia at all. It is a genre that interests me. This is a book cover that I find really beautiful. I've almost bought this book a couple of different times, full price, so I was really excited to find it at Goodwill. I think it was like $3. So I'm very interested in reading this one, and I hopefully will get to this very, very soon. And then the last book that I picked up at Goodwill was The Gathering Blue by Lois Lowery, which is the sequel to The Giver, which I read in elementary school. Did not even know it was part of a series until I saw, who was it? I think Ashley at Bookish Realm made a video kind of recently talking about young adult books or reacting to a list, and she mentioned something about The Giver books being pretty good and how they're like kind of connected. If I can remember what video it was, I will link it down below. But I didn't know that it was part of a series until she said that, and then like right afterwards this book popped up at Goodwill and I was like, well, I have to buy it and see what happens. So I'm very excited to be reading this one as well. But that is it. Those are the, I think, 11 books that I picked up in the month of August. Hopefully I will actually stick to it and not get any more new books. But let me know if you've read any of these books and how you felt about them down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to, you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel because I do post 2 videos every single week. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!
What's there to say? There's nothing but space in between you and I. It's okay that we change, but it feels kinda strange that you're not in my life. You're the only one that saves me when I'm alone. You're the only love that I've ever known. But we turn into a flower that never grows. I was hiding like the moon, like that never shows. I should've told you that I loved you. One more time, one more time, one more time. I should've told you that I loved you. One more time, one more time, one more time. I should've told you that I loved you every night. Oh, that's on my mind. I should've told you that I loved you. One more time, one more time. Would you have stayed if I had been honest with you from the start? Don't say it's okay if I'm falling and you're